Selling out is easy to do. It's not so hard to find a buyer for you. When money talks, you're under its spell. Ah, but what do you have when there's nothing left to sell? Selling out, I'd rather call it compromise, is easy to do. Sometimes you have to close your eyes. It's not so hard. Being rich is no disgrace. To find a buyer for you, put on your shoes and join the race. When money talks, it has a very soothing voice. You're under its spell. It's up to you to make the choice. Ah, but what do
Before
you have
it,
when there's nothing left to sell?
Hello, everybody. It's Alan Strickland Williams. This is Finding My Audience. You're the audience. That was Tom Lair with Selling Out. Look where we are. We're downstairs. What the fuck? Someone just made a noise. I don't know what it was. We got the mixer going downstairs. Looks like it's going okay so far. Trying this new mic. We're gonna see what it does. This one kid, whoever he is, Wolfcat with a gun. He can't get past the sounds. The mouth sounds. This guy doesn't even pay Patreon. So really, frankly, I don't give a fuck. Speaking of, welcome to Troy McClure, new Patreon. Welcome to the party. We appreciate it. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out all the sound stuff. I think that this might be, it sounded a lot better when I was doing the testing. I also think the way I talk, I make sounds. I think I was too close to the mic. I think I read some stuff about talking past the mic. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't want anyone to be having a bad time. I know that we all have our picadillos, I guess you could say. But we're rocking with it down here. If this mixer holds throughout this session, there's going to be guests. There's going to be guests. There will. Now then we're going to figure out how to do the audio together. But I'll find a friend that won't mind maybe spending some time down here with me. We'll do it good. I've had a pretty good time. How are you doing? Been a good week. When did I drop that episode? Friday, Saturday. So it's funny because now I'm back to doing it on the weekend, just the way that the schedule's kind of worked out. But I will say I have the time. I'm doing it before dinner with some pals. Later, I've got some shows later. I've got shows, I guess we could do that. I mean, this won't come out today, but I'm doing a secret show, so it doesn't matter anyway. But tomorrow I'm doing a show called Friendship Buddies at the Verdugo Bar. Great bar. They have the best burger. I think it's called the Alchemy Burger. It is the best burger in town. Nothing else even comes close. That is a promise. I swear. So if you're in LA, especially if you live on that side time, Glassell Park, Eagle Rock area, it's at 8 p.m. It's at Verdugo Bar. Great lineup. And great burger. You'd be a fool to miss it. The show's free, the burger is not. And then I'm doing funny games at the Skunk Room at the Elysian, 7:30 p.m. It's a mic, but then they have some comics come in and do longer sets. I'm going to do that. Very fun mic, ran by some fun kids. Good spot. But yeah, I am also like, wow, 3 nights in a row. Haven't had that happen in a while. Pretty cool. But I am old and tired. My week has been absolutely insane busy. Work got really busy, and then there was a packet going around for after midnight. Did that. We'll see what happens there. Probably nothing, if I'm being perfectly honest, but we'll see. You never know. I wrote a lot of funny stuff, but hey, you know what I've learned in comedy in Hollywood? Least important thing. So anyway, that's kind of cool. We're chugging along. That's all good. I did have some good news. So some cool things happened. I got into the Big Sky Comedy Festival out in Montana. That's in Billings, Montana, October 1st through the 5th. I'll be out there. Never thought I'd make it to Montana and do comedy, so I'm extremely excited. And then I think we also get to do, there's a lot of fun activities. I think there's like a day you go out and shoot a bunch of guns, which, let's be honest, pretty brave to deal with a bunch of stand-up comedians. If anything could break bad, it's that. But I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, some other stuff. Oh, by the way, this is the trauma episode, so we're gonna do sort of the normal stuff. I'm gonna have sort of the carefree jokes, catch up, hi to the Patreons. all that good stuff. We're going to do that first, the voicemails first. Then I'm going to tell, it was the 5-year anniversary of a traumatic event that happened in my life. So I will just say, I'll give you guys another heads up. But if anyone is, if people don't want to hear stuff like that, I don't blame you. I get like that too. I'll give you guys a heads up when you can crash out. But if, hey, maybe you've had some trauma in your life, maybe recently, maybe a long time ago. Maybe it's something that helps to hear. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't really care. I just kind of thought, I got back into therapy, and it was Monday. Monday was the anniversary of this thing, so it seemed appropriate to talk about. And also just to say this, I'm gonna just kind of talk about it. Maybe there'll be some drops.
God damn it!
But I'm gonna just sort of talk about it just normally, just sort of talk through what happened, the context, what was going on. Maybe have a clip or two, but there's like I guess you would say, funny version of it on the album. We're really closing on the album. I'm actually looking at design stuff now, which was the last piece we were waiting on. So I'm trying to figure out how to roll out that stuff. I guess I could announce the title right now, but I want to wait until we have it locked, and then I'm going to do a little rollout. I'll release the title, I'll release the album cover, and then obviously we'll release the big thing. But yeah, so I got into the Big Sky Comedy Festival. Very excited for that. If you don't know, Augie Smith, a really funny comic, he helps run that. So excited to do that. Excited to get out there. I must have been in a good mood and applied to it, because I do not remember applying to it. That's a lot of stuff like that happens recently. But I got in, and that was cool. I needed that. That was a good feeling. And then also around the same time, and this is kind of interesting, is so I did a half hour for Comedy Central years ago, before the world ended. Came out in November of 2019. They put it all on YouTube last Friday, I forget. But they put it on, and it's kind of weird because, not a big chunk, but it's a half hour. It's like 22 minutes, So it's like a chunk of it's about Hillary and Trump. And so that feels dated. So that was kind of weird. And then also God, it's really annoying how, I get whatever you want to say, Republicans, people on the right, how they just cannot take a fucking joke. They just can't do it. It's really, I don't know. It just makes me think they're really weak. But, they big mad in the comments about all that stuff. Always pretty wild. And then it's like I have these gun jokes that are not even... they're just so sensitive. They're just so sensitive. It's really, really crazy. So a lot of haters in the comments for sure. But got a lot of popularity, or not popularity, but it got some love too, and a lot of people started following me. If you're coming in from that, I just want to say hi, thank you, welcome, come on in. Maybe you're not one of them coward Republicans. Maybe you're a strong Republican. If you are, we want to have you here. But whoever you are, thank you for joining in. It really does mean a lot. And it was, it was cool to get, a little bit of love for that. It came out so long ago, and then it, poor Comedy Central. They just, I guess it's just that it makes them more money to just show Office reruns than do anything else. But you really don't know what they're doing over there. But they were really nice, and they actually talked to me a little bit, and they picked some kind of it's a part of a joke, but they picked a really weird thing to be the title of it. I pitched them another one, and they changed it to that. So I appreciate that. So thank you guys. And then, there's a little crossover with the album, but mostly that's, like I said, some of that stuff was so dated. It felt even dated then. And anyway, yeah. But, if you haven't watched it yet, it's on YouTube. Just look up Alan Strickland Williams Comedy Central. You'll see it. Hit the like thing on it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, hit the like thing. I hate it, but...
Apparently, I've never been on live television before.
Apparently, we need it. Apparently, it's what you have to do. So if you don't mind doing that, it would mean a lot. Or leave a review, whatever you want to do. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Welcome to the party. Let's see what else happened. I had a show in Santa Barbara. Show was fine. It's so funny. You do a lot of shows in really nice places, and it's kind of always the same vibe. It's these people have no problems. Like, I don't know what they want out of comedy, but, you know, whatever. But there were some cool, like, and also, frankly, some older kind of fuddy-duddies. But there are some cool young kids at the bar. There are some cool, like, moms that were hanging out. Had a really good time. But mainly, oh my God, just driving out to Santa Barbara. It was so beautiful. I went with, like, plenty of time because I didn't want to be rushed. And yeah, I just got to say, nothing is more, what's the word, cognitive dissonance than how, like, on Fox News or, like, a lot of other places in the country, how they just, like, talk mad shit about California. It's like, go on that drive I just did. Go on that drive. Shut the fuck up. Like, California is the most beautiful state in the country without a doubt. It's not even close. We have it all. We have anything you could ever want. Whoa, what are you going to tell me? Oh, what's that? Oh, everyone in LA is fake.
God damn it!
Give me a break. Come up with something new. What else did I do? I went to the St. Vincent show. It was great. I never been to the Greek Theater. Fantastic. I didn't get to get down in the pit. If I'm going to a concert, I really like to be close. I like to get a nice seat. Still had okay seats, but it was kind of cool because my seat was like directly at her eye line. So she was looking at me the whole time. Annie, if you ever want to try, you know, I'm in. Let's see, what else with me? Oh, I'm planning my UK trip. I've got one show in London, November 8th. Putting together a show in Glasgow, I believe. I'm going to do London for about a week. And then I'm going to go to Dublin for a couple days, Edinburgh for a couple days, Glasgow for a weekend, and then come back and come home. Really looking forward to that. Really expensive. Really expensive. Don't know what I'm going to do. I'll be eating a lot of ketchup and mayonnaise sandwiches. Let's see. Let's get to the jokes. How about some jokes? Just a couple quick ones. We had an earthquake recently in Los Angeles. I don't know what this says about my mental state, but the earthquake started happening. I was at work. I had enough time to get under my desk. I started to get under my desk, and then I went, nah. So I don't know what that means. I had this thought too, you know, artificial intelligence, all the AI stuff. We're making it do all this art. All these people wanted to do art, and then they're posting the art online, and people are just like ripping it to shreds because it looks weird. The guy's missing a finger, the eye's like in the wrong spot. If we are worried about artificial intelligence breaking bad and taking over the world, I don't know if you want to give it the same career trajectory as Adolf Hitler. Art school reject, you know, I'm just worried, but that's all I'll say about that. Let's get to some voicemails. We had some fun voicemails. This is a weird one. This is someone, I got it, and then as I'm listening, I'm like, oh wait, this is like someone made this a robotic thing. So let's just listen to it and see. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes on this mic.
Hey, Alan. This is an anonymous secret admirer. I was wondering what made you want to go on a dating hiatus. I am a bit of a serial dater myself, and I'm wondering what is to be gained from a hiatus from romantic or sexual relationships. When will you know that you are ready to date again? What are the benefits of a dating hiatus? Do you want to have a partner or partners eventually? When was the last time you dated? Hey, Al.
And that was the giveaway. Was the starting to repeat of the "Hey, Alan," because it kind of sounds like someone. But then that gave it away. I should have answered this in a robot voice, I guess, huh? But I went on a dating hiatus just because it was all too much. It was just too much. So yeah, I don't know when I would be ready to date again. I think it's more of a timing issue than anything. I have entertained the idea here and there, but it takes so much time. It's just so much time. And I either need to get better at managing expectations or it's just a timing thing for me. I just don't know how it feels like there's always so much of a pull to throw all of your time and energy into it. And it's just, I don't know. That's just not what I'm trying to do. It's, you know, not right to put other people in that position or to be in it when you don't want to be. So the benefits of it have been having more time to do this. And yeah, I don't know. I just think it's like, I kind of would, it was just one of those things that you just do and don't really think about what you're doing in the same way that, like, you know, I've been taking more breaks from drinking and stuff like that. But yeah, do you want to have a partners eventually? It is funny. I do kind of look at like way, way, way down the line. God, I still don't know though. I just love my alone time. I just love being alone. I always go back to that quote by Whoopi Goldberg that just says, I don't want anybody else in my house. I kind of really feel like that. I'm like, I like spending time with people. I like connecting with people. But then at a certain point, I'm like, get away from me. So there's that. That's all I'll answer that. The last time I dated, it was early this year. It was like, geez, I can't even remember, but it was at the beginning of the year. Okay, then we have a voicemail from our friend, Lisa Chanou. Here we go.
Hey, Alan, it's Lisa Chanou. I'm just calling to check in because the last episode, it sounded like you were so hot that you were going to die.
Okay, so yes, thank you for checking in. That was awful. What I do downstairs is I have the light and I have my TV. This is where I hang out. And I direct the light at the TV screen, and then it bounces back, and that's like enough light for this, and it's not crazy. So that's what we're doing. Thank you for noticing. I really almost passed out during that episode last week.
I hope you're well. And I also wanted to ask for a little bit of advice because I know you watched the Theo Von Bernie Sanders interview, and I'm a little upset because a clip of it came up in my algorithm, and Theo Von's wearing a shirt that I also own. It's my favorite shirt, and I can't decide what that means about me. I mean, I almost asked him to throw it away, but no, I love it. I'm not going to throw it away. Any advice you have? Love the pod. XOXO, Lisa.
We love Lisa. Lisa Chanou, thank you for calling in. Check out Lisa's stand-up, Lisa Chanou, CHANOUX. One of those comics that she's just got it all, and she's got it all figured out. And I felt like that the first time I saw her, which would have had to probably be at Chatterbox. She had a look, she had the vibe, she knows what she is, she knows what she's saying. Super, super funny. She knocks it out of the park consistently. But here's my hot take. I think history has vindicated Theo Von. I don't know. I saw the Bernie thing. I watched the Trump one. I'm not going to lie. I watched the Trump one. People are sending me bits. Oh, Alan, have you seen this? I watched the whole damn thing. Okay. I watch it so you don't have to. I would have clipped it a little bit for this, but I wanted to just kind of do the talk about the fucking thing and get something out for you guys. But yeah, I think, and I thought this about Daniel Tosh too. Because the show when it was on was like, okay, Tosh, whatever, easy to make fun of. But he's got a podcast that I love, and I don't know. Maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. I think you can wear the shirt with pride. I think that we should befriend Theo Von. I think that we should all go on tour and go on the road and have a great time. Thank you for calling in, Lisa. I appreciate that. So yeah, that's sort of the fun part. So if you guys want to tune out, this is a story about a shooting. I was in a shooting. I'll give you time to back out. But yeah, this is my, you can call me Traumala Harris. But yeah, let's just get into it. So this happened, it was the 5-year anniversary on Monday. So that means it happened in 2019. And kind of full circle too. Well, let's just get into it. So first off, the way this night started was, I was with my buddy Richard Bain. We were hanging out, probably at Bigfoot Lodge. Excuse me. We met we ran into a comic there that we knew, and I won't out her, but we like had a good time with her at the was it a mic? Was it a show? I don't know. And then we went back to her place, and she had some friends there, and we were there. And the funniest part, there's a lot of funny parts about this terrible thing that happened. But the way this whole night started was me and Richard were 100% sure that this person wanted to have a threesome with us. Like 100% sure. Like she said one thing to us both, and then kind of walked away at the bar. And then Richard was like, does she? And I was like, 100%. It was like from a movie. I was like, without a doubt. Like, okay, so that was our energy going into this whole debacle, right? Okay, so
Scared half to death.
so we go back to this person's place, and we're having a great time. We're doing what you do late at night, having drinks, and then Richards all wants me to watch this. I guess maybe another trigger warning for this for Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf did on Sway, Five Fingers of Death. I know about this through Richard. I don't know about this stuff, but he it's like they play beats and then you freestyle over it. And Richard's just like, you got to check out Shia's freestyle. You got to check out Shia's freestyle. Okay, so I actually have it here. Here we go. Let's check it out.
This is what you call refinement. I thank God Almighty that I'm balling slightly. I say amen, I'm just a man who's chasing elation. In my occupation, who's patient, who comes from below the basement, from the pavement. Then I got an agent, then I done made it. Past Tom Hanks replacement. God damn, my life's amazing. And you like it cause my life is real. My life is like a highlight reel. Don't like me, check Twitter, how the zeitgeist feel. Sway and Shade 45 is what I just killed.
Okay, so that was the end of it. It's like a whole long thing, but just for some context, so that's the energy, right? That's the cool energy. Then we're leaving, and it's time to go, and we're gonna come back to my place, maybe go to the neighbors after or whatever. And we realize this threesome's not gonna happen. Okay, so we then wait for this person to get a car. They go, and then we wait for our car, and we get our car, and maybe 2-3 minutes later, car comes, picks us up, and it's like, it's maybe 2:30, something like that. It's like that. It's not super, super late, but it's late. It's bars are closed. And it's dead. It's dead out on the street. We're going, I remember, I want to say Highway to Hell was playing, some AC/DC song was playing, but it was like, windows are down, we're doing this thing, we're doing the thing out the window. And we're in Eagle Rock, and we're pulling up by the gas station, Verdugo and Eagle Rock. And as we're in complete motion, me and him are in the back of this lift, a car pulls up next to us, rolls down the window of the passenger front seat, and a guy leans out with a gun and starts firing into the back. And like I said, I had window up, actually. Richard was doing that. So, at first, it's like you just hear pop, pop, and I'm kind of like, whatever. Richard immediately snapped into gear and this is one of those things, too, where you're like, thank God we weren't wearing our seatbelts. Weird. But he pulled us down in the back. This is all while the car's in motion. And then I guess what I do is, and I do this without really, I do not have what's the word? I do not have recollection, or I didn't plan to do this, but apparently I pull out my phone and I'm like huddled down bottom and I'm calling 911. So I'm like, okay, I guess I have some instincts or whatever. But we're down there. I mean, hear the bullet go through glass twice. And then here, there's just a lot of fuck you. There's a lot of this, and like what the fuck. And then obviously, we're in the back, so we're obscured. But like looking up, clearly what's happened is they then pointed the gun at the driver. They shot the driver. The driver got hit. So basically, then what happens is they're driving away, but now the guy has lost control of his car. And the car's still moving. So we pass through the intersection. What happens is, I don't know how, because it's on Eagle Rock, and if you like drive by there, you see cars park on the side of this road. Somehow the car misses cars that are parked, goes up, and it hits a driver, fire hydrant, and then misses like a bus thing and comes back down, and then it's in the road. And then the car comes to a stop. We are, obviously completely shaken up, but I'm kind of touching myself. I'm touching Richard. I'm like, let's make sure we didn't get hit with anything or glass or like whatever. And then we kind of poke up because it's at least sounds like these people have driven away. There was a big part of it that was like, oh, they're going to come back. But they go away. They're hightailing it. And then it's like, I mean, for me, the most traumatic part was when we kind of come up and we're trying to communicate with the driver, and it's like, we couldn't see anything, but he was hit and he wasn't able to communicate. So very, very quickly. So then we're just kind of chilling in the car. And then we see blue and red. And so then, Richard's about to go out, and I'm like, hey, like, let's be very careful because, they don't know it's a lift. They don't know whatever. So we do that, and we come out and we're like, hey, we're drivers. The driver needs help. And then the cops, cops are cops. I know, but I should have lit the Richard candle. I'm looking at it over here. He's smiling at me. Gotcha ass. Richard, we get out, and, then we really do pat each other down. And they pat us down, and then they have to get like the Jaws whatever to like get this guy out. So then they say, look, you guys need to stay here until we know that the driver survives, because if the driver doesn't survive, then it's considered a homicide, and then we'll have to go downtown to do, whatever. And we obviously didn't want to do that because we've been partying all night and like drunk and like whatever. We just want to go home. We also just went through pretty insane trauma, obviously. Almost died a couple times. So we just want to get out of there, but they won't let us go. So we at least one of them walks us to the gas station so we can get cigarettes. We can just chain smoke about it. So we do that. And of course, Richard's Richard's doing all this like, that's the cosmic joke, man. I won't lie. This was right the week I found out I got that half hour that they put on YouTube just this past week. I was waiting for the bad. Do you know what I mean? I was waiting for a bad thing to happen and frankly, since then things have been pretty bad. But it's like you get a good thing. I'm like, okay, when's the other shoe going to drop? When the terrible thing's going to happen? And then as it's happening, I was like, wow, so it's going to be really bad. Okay, cool. So anyway, that happens. We're out. We're fine. Thank fucking God. Poor driver. But eventually, they had to cut him out. They had to like take his clothes off and like get him out of there. But I do remember, but eventually it came back that he survived. So then it's like 4:30. My neighbor comes and picks us up. And that's well, the other thing I will say about the whole experience was the cops are like, oh, so this was road rage? And I'm like, it's 2:30. Like, no, it wasn't road rage. Is it, gang related. And I was like, man, I again, it just seemed to me, I was like, oh, this is like whatever they need to do to like get the person to say something so that they can like check a thing on their paperwork. Because then afterwards I would get calls from them that I had to keep like kind of like explaining what happened or whatever, to a detective. But basically, yeah, it was, and then through some means we found out that the driver survived and was doing okay. I think we might have found a GoFundMe for him somehow or something connected to, there was like a little article about it in maybe one of the local news websites. So thank God that person's okay. And no idea what, again, I that was kind of a big takeaway for me from all this was like, you could try to figure out what happened and who was behind it or whatever, but this happens. Life is unfair, etc. And God, if you really don't think that there's not like a gun violence problem in this country, it's like there are so many comedians. Like I've been on multiple shows where other comics have a similar story, worse even. So that's one thing to that. So anyway, after that, I'm trying to think. Oh, then like me and Richard spend like 72 hours together. Where we've obviously trauma bonded in a way that's like we don't want to go home. We don't want to be separated from each other. And there was a lot of, I mean, it was wild because, you know, obviously we're just trying to like party our way through it. But I do want to shout out two people that were really, really, my friends are great. It was insane, and I probably was so insane around this time, even more so than normal. But I do want to thank Karen Kilgariff and Brendan Walsh, because they both, just in like kind of little ways, but in really big ways, were there and like talked to us both in a way that was very, carried a lot of weight. And I don't think we'd be doing, or I don't think I'd be doing as well. I mean, that's the other terrible, terrible kicker to the whole story is eventually, you know, Richard's not here anymore. So to speak to that part, so anyway, that's basically how it went. It was crazy. It was awful. There was definitely, I mean, Jesus, I mean, PTSD, whatever you want to call it. I remember there were so many moments where I would, I was like having crazy dreams, like me and Richard are in like All Quiet on the Western Front, like World War I. And I'm like routinely, I would find like my phone or my alarm clock, like all the way across the room. I think clearly because the thing goes off in my dream. I'm like throwing grenades away. I'm like, oh, I like melded that in my mind. There's still like, there's one part of my street where if a big truck goes by, it always makes this sound that doesn't even sound like a gunshot, but hits something in that way. But here's what I'll say too, to kind of like, for, you know, just the weird cosmic joke stuff of it all. So the first year of the anniversary, I'm like, Richard, you saved my life. Let me go buy you a steak. We'll go out. We go to this place called Columbo's. And I was like, let's go to the neighborhood where it happened. So we go to Columbo's, relatively close to it. And there's this jazz trio playing. And it was just really cool and chill. Like the steak was fine. I was like, okay. But the vibe was cool. But the really cool part was who walks in about, you know, halfway through our meal, but Shia LaBeouf. Literally, Shia LaBeouf walks in, and he kind of is looking around. He's with some girl. He wasn't with Mia, I don't think, but he was with some girl. But he's having a good time or whatever. And he like, the lady, the jazz trio is like, are there any anniversaries in the crowd? And Richard starts laughing and raises his hand. And so it's like, okay, we're two guys. It's an anniversary. And she goes, oh, what do you guys want us, what should we play for that? And I just go, play That's Life by Frank Sinatra. I figure they're a jazz trio, they know how to do that. And they're like, oh, that's great. And then Shia looks over at us, gives us two big thumbs up, and then starts singing That's Life, like to us, with them. So anyway, that is the story. You know, I don't know. I figure we're supposed to use our trauma, right? I don't know. Is that worth a writing job? Is that worth a one-man show in Edinburgh? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But thank you for listening. It means a lot. It felt good to talk through that, actually, in a weird way. I appreciate you guys allowing me to do that. Keep listening. Keep up. If you, hey, no one called in. I put a thing about, hey, if you got trauma, call in. If you still want to, we can revisit it next weekend or next week. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. It's kind of something I wanted to do. I wanted to get out the definitive story of it before the sort of jokier version, I guess, on the album. But yeah, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. But yeah, I think I got it all. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next week-ish.